What? What am I doing? Wait up. What the fridge is going on here? I thought it was queen here and then mate, but it's not. So it's not queen f6. So what on earth is it then? Beastie! Yay. Welcome in, Bruda. Beastie, help me, brother. What the heck are we supposed to do here, man, if it's not queen f6? Suleiman! The legend is back. Good old Sully, aka Sully. We haven't seen you for a while, brother. Where have you been? Did you notice the brother? I did try my best. Arabic accent right there for you. Yeah, I was looking at queen b6 too, but it feels too soft. After like queen takes e5, there's no way we can mate. So the only alternative is that we have to take this. And then mate from here. But that was so lame for a puzzle, I didn't want to believe that. Two Arabs here. Yeah, to be fair though, that was more of a Lebanese accent. Okay, this is very cheeky. So after queen d5, it's almost not right because of rook check, and if king here then take, and then the knight is pinned so they can take the queen, but we're covering h1. So it works. Indeed, Rengao, long time no chat. How's it going, brother? Dr. Linu in the house too. So this would be almost winning if it weren't for the check. So do we just take this? That would be pretty epic, right? Yeah, we did it. Oh, this is one of those where we sacrifice the whole thing and it's e4 mate in the end. So we need to find out the correct order. So maybe it's queen d2, bish d2, But then I can't do c4, rook c4, rook d4 because... Yeah, we need to freeze the rook. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's c4, bishop c4, queen d2, bishop d2, rook d4, e4, e4 mate. Did you guys know this? Slash, have you seen this idea before? It's very specky. Check here, and then the pawn delivers the mate in the end. Mads, hey, hey, hey. Rando, also hey, hey, hey. Wait, are we doing a mate in one? For real? Okay. Insta reels, yes. Fair enough. Nothing like learning chess from Instagram. Like, that's one step away from doing chess on Tinder. Speaking of which, I texted Tindy the other day because he hasn't been blessing us with his presence for ages now. And I felt insulted by that. So it's take, check, check, take, check, and take h6. Oh, the Chess Viking dude is pretty brilliant. I like the guy a lot, yes. Brazy, welcome in. So if we didn't have the knight, we would have mate. So the first candidate is knight c7. And apparently that's not the last candidate. Why is that shite? Okay, so it's knight d8 then, but the only reason why it is acceptable to not accept knight c7 is because knight d8 is a forced mate, I reckon. Thank you, DH. I don't understand the reason for it, but I am very happy too. I just am scared that it's not gonna last. Check he, and mate. That is a zigzag pattern that, yeah, everyone should know. Yeah, MSDZ, Sasha... What? Oh, shit, I forgot that the king can zigzag out here. So is it gonna be f4 then? Yeah, far out. Apologies for those of you who are bitterly disappointed in me, including myself. Yeah, Sasha is doing great these days, yeah. Wait, I always forget. This always messes with my head. Braze! Because these pawns are going that way and these guys is coming this way. So take a4. Wait, we're black. Oh, this is the classic bishop b1 pawn up then, right? And then we promote with check. Wait, I'm so confused. So why is f2 not winning here again? Because they come down here. That's why we need to play bishop b, but then they take with check. Right, so it's f2, rook g8, and then bishop down here. And then if check, we block the check. If they take, then we promote with check. Okay, I'm an idiot. I just got completely thrown by the reverse board. How frequently do I stream? Nowhere near as frequently as I should or as I would like to. That's a double attack if I've ever seen one. Okay, so this is tempting to take the bishop, right? But then after king here, we don't have mate. Whereas if we go knight d3, then after king here, we have mate. Hey. Big Al reached out to me the other day. Believe it or not. Oh, I missed a few here in September, October 2010. Is it check? King takes check, king here, f... no. So how do we make this a mate? By playing f4 first. Can you guys believe that this is f4 with the idea of rook h6 and then mate on h8? Is that it? Wow. That was very cool. We love Svidla. He is a champ. Okay, so we are in check. That makes puzzle solving pretty easy. I mean, this is screaming anyway. Well, that was just a pat... Oh, wait, they didn't take my queen. Sorry. That was just pure pattern recognition, by the way, because that was the Carlsen Karyakin mate pattern. I just needed to make it work. So if I take this, they take f1. So I just take the piece and take... No. With the Hallmark Gambit. The fact that I don't know what that is tells you that it's 10 out of 10 bad. Holmov. Now, I recognize the name of the player, Ratmir Holmov, very famous guy. I still don't know what the Holmov Gambit is. I'm still very, very sus. Is it just queen here, threatening mate in 1? Yeah, yeah, forget it. That's an absolute piece of poo. I knew it. As soon as you said it, I knew that stuff was up. Like, yeah, no, don't do that. It's a great opening if you start the game with 1 minute on your clock. Any other case, play chess. Viral. Howdy. Okay, I'm guessing it's gonna be some running in business. So if I go here, then there is check and knight f7. Oh, and then we're gonna trap the... Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Idiot. It's king b4, and then we are going to mate on c5. Let me think about how we engineer that. Oh, yeah, it's 96, king d7, 98. That's it, yeah. So the point of this puzzle is that when you play knight e6, you're threatening mate in 1. And the only way to stop that is to move the king to b7, which walks right into this little bizzo. Hello, code. This is an absolute banger. All right. How's it going, code? Courtney in the house too. Hey, yeah. I've got full crew again. So this is made in 2, yeah? Kindergarten stuff. Whoa, Cody coming in strong. Yeah. Cheers, buddy. Did I solve Kasparian for fun as a kid? Yes, I did actually. I had a chess book when I was a kid, which almost every Hungarian kid had at the time because it was a Hungarian author and it was published in like 4 trillion copies. So you would get it as a prize almost inevitably in a chess tournament in your life once. And it was all about composed studies, mostly by Soviet/Russian composers. So I did come across a lot of those, yes. Sometimes, you know, things that look like a curse can be a blessing. So this is gonna be knight b, bishop d4, hitting queen knight. They play bishop b3, and then we take. Wait, no. Oh, wait. Yeah. Then we take on b6, and d4 is guarded. Yes. Well, I tried, but I left bits and bobs out. It's okay. Unfortunately, ladies don't come too close to me anymore, close enough that they would notice. So it's all G. But yes, freshly shaven, and welcome in, Grimfeld Slayer, or rather the Slayer of Grimfeld Shenanigans. If you don't recognize this mate pattern in 10 seconds, that means that you have not done your due diligence in the tactics department. So check, mate. This looks like take bishop g2, which is another one of those patterny things that you should pick up on. And if they take the rook, see, we go queen h3. So watch, take bish here. The idea is that after bishop here, we are threatening rook h1, king g2, queen h3 mate. It's very unfortunate that they have double f. If they didn't have the either pawn, then they could push the other one up and avoid the mate threats. I actually missed that move here, but bishop f3 is gonna do the job for us. And now we take, and then it's Matutsky down here. Yeah. This is queen c6. This is the Magnus game. This is why you need to know games, ladies, because I would have never ever solved this if I hadn't seen that game. Supi against Magnus. Except I think that this has been mingled with. This doesn't look like the Supi game in its entirety. I'm pretty sure that in the Supi game, the king was in c8 for starters. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. DH Germany. And hopefully we manage to convert our good friend. Yeah, this is actually not even accepted. Oh, it's okay, one and then. Oh, that's now it checks out. Yeah. And now Supi. Now it is Supi. We have got our good friend Cody on board with that now. Kind of. DH, so I'm glad that you said that. Black to move. So this pin is going to win a horsey one day. Oh yeah, so rook c8, queen d7, we have got check and pick off the knight. Yeah, but Courtney, there are explanations in books. That's the point. Fuck. What's wrong with queen here? Oh, 95, you donkey. Oh, shit. Ah, yeah. See, this is why you need to be very, very, very vigilant. I still don't know if it's queen a5 or a7, though. Or none of the above. Zed! The big Z in the house. How are you going, brother? So I'm a bit worried about knight here. I'm missing a detail that is yet to be revealed to me. Oh, maybe it's check, take, check here. Shit, that's nice. Wow. That's very cool. It's check, take, and threatening take here with check. I decided that f4 was not on, but now we have queen e6. Farad, I'm good at this. I am good at this. A savant of sorts. Thank you. I never heard that before, Mr. Engao. Have never been called a savant. Savante. Okay, what the frick is going on here? I mean, knight c7 followed by queen takes looks super winning. But knight maybe here? Queen takes, queen takes. Queen b8, king d7. Pawn e6, king d6, queen b6, knight c6, queen c6, mate. Looks good. Fuck. Is it gonna be rook f8? I'm wondering what was wrong with this. One more time. He, check, he, check, he, check. Oh, the king slips out on e5. Fuck. Oh. I am a cretin. I also missed, yeah, I missed everything because I also missed queen b8, queen c8. Although there is 96 king. No, I don't have that either. e6 is subtle. I'm not sure if you meant it though. No, it's rook f8. I just realized it's rook f8 because takes is check, and if they take, then queen takes, king takes, queen. d6 doesn't win because of king c8, but queen e7 does, and then we take this. But I need to double check. So this is not winning, but this is. Fuck! This is. I meant. Anatoly! Wait, this is Antonoly. That's a tricky name. Antonoly. Okay, we struggled with that one big time, so now we need to redeem ourselves. And this looks like a nasty study. Where do we even begin with this one? So I could take the queen, but that looks lame. Take. I don't see a... Oh, wait a second. Wait, isn't it just total kindergarten? I must be missing something because rook takes, knight f6 check, and no matter where the king goes, I play knight g4 or knight e4 check and check the rook down. I must be missing something because this is too easy. Nope, apparently that was it. Okay, that was super lame for the last puzzle. Okay, so knight g3, queen g3, queen takes g3, queen h4 mate, unstoppable as far as I can see. Yeah? No, fuck. So queen h4 right away then? What did I miss there? Oh, wait. Is queen g1 a move there? Is knight g3 takes, because it's wrong, takes queen g3, queen here? Is that a move? Wow. That is wild. And if I take the queen, king takes, and they've got 3 minus for it. Jeez, Louis. Guys, did you see this? That was epic. So I thought that the solution was knight g3. How do I analyze this? Anyway, I will just show you. But after take, queen takes, they can stop the mate here by playing queen g1. Yeah, that is a very tough Monday one. As opposed to rook check, knight check, and pick off the rook for free. The key idea here is that when you take this, the knight defends the rook. So they have to retake, and then we just pick off this guy. The Roy Lopez. Howdy. So if we go up, rook here, up. Can't take, but king d7 is on. Oh, it's up, rook here, up, rook here, up. Okay, I get it now. What? Okay, so now we go here, rook here, and then we go rook here. This is a very, very famous motif. Courtney, make sure you watch. So we go here. Did you watch, Courts? Is it rook c8 first then? Oh, yes, because then rook b8. So the idea is this. So now you play h7. And they can't take because of check. But I thought it was the other move order. And take. So typically, it's... The idea is that you push. They go behind. And then you go down to the back rank to threaten to promote. They have to take you and then you check down the rook. But here I'm bungled up the move order. Because if you go pawn up first, then the rook can go right here instead of going behind. And so it's rook c8 first. I fell for that. So this looks like a very famous idea of queen here. I can't tell the difference between these two. Rook h8. Then we take f7. Rook takes. Then you take h8. And you take the whole family with the knight. But I can't decide which queen move to play first. Because they seem to me to be the same. Obviously, I would rather play queen h3 just based on feel and vibe. But I can't justify one over the other. So this is it, guys. Watch this. Rook takes. And then everybody is in a knight move distance. And we take advantage of that by chucking in the lady and mowing down the board with the horsey. That is a boomski. Righto. So this looks like an exchange hanging. I don't see anything untoward about it. And now rook c6 wins. Yeah, because after rook takes, pawn takes, knight b2, c7 we promote. Yeah. Nice, coach. Nice, coach. Good job. Hey. So what we need to do here is to somehow check down the queen, and then this is a runner. So maybe something like knight d8, queen f8, king f8 for argument's sake, and then queen g7 check. And if king takes, you give a check, take the queen, and then this guy goes in. This is a textbook case when you can reverse engineer the solution. And I'm not saying I got it, but what I certainly am saying is that you can sometimes do your calculation in a reverse format. It's the unusual one. Queen g7 first is a great way to lose a queen for nothing, right? So what you want to do is to ensure that we can check the queen down, and that will be achieved by knight e6. So first we set up for knight e6. And then the next step should be, I expected king f8 by the way, to lure the king onto the square where you can check it down from. But now we have got work to do still. Sorry, ZJ, I forgot to read your message. Hey coach, I want to ask what's your advice on how to mentally reset fast between tournament rounds when you aren't blessed with a lot of time to rest. If you just had a long, tough loss game that lasts the whole time control and now you are only 5 to 10 minutes next round. I always like to do some physical separation from the whole event, as in from the last round. So remove yourself from the playing hall, go outside, touch some grass, look up on the blue sky, take a few deep breaths, and just, yeah, have nothing but happy thoughts. 96 definitely does not look legit here because we're facing 5 trillion checks, no? Maybe. I would be shocked if this was correct. Not shocked, but very surprised. Yeah, I like to leave the building is a good way to be. Do I have a positive opinion on how chess has evolved? Engines, online chess influencers. Well, look, on the grand scheme of things, chess has become more popular than ever. Right? So that's definitely a huge positive. I think chess would be a lot more fun and a lot more mysterious if we didn't have the engines. But you know, that's the same, like it would be a lot more fun to explore the world without airplanes. Like, where is the adventure? Where is the fun? You know, where is the challenge of having to hop on a boat and be on it for like 2 months to go to different continent? Like, you can't undo science. It's just what it is. So I don't find it productive. Yeah, 96, I don't think does anything. E4 check, king c3, king queen e3, and we're cooked. So I'm looking at check here. Check, check. Oh! It has to be check, he, check. But what if king here? Then check again. Okay, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Chegajeta or chegayeta or, you know, all of the above. Stay classy, Reiti, Freddy. Push the pawn. And if we get mated, what do we do? Yeah, all of the above. That's it. I mean, are we going for a draw and just give a check? Whoa, 20 handle rapid. That is sexy. Actually, no, we can't do that because of king f8. I must be missing something absolutely elementary here. And I can't figure out what it is. Check, take, check. King here. Check. King back. I have nothing, man. This is embarrassing. What do you mean queen g5, brother? That's hanging. Good luck, Reiti. I wish you the very best. Even if the queen takes, I don't get what that does. 96, I don't see for check. King key, queen e3, check. 5,000 checks, we lose. Or at least I thought we did. Yeah, it's 96 apparently. And this is where... Oh, shit. I didn't see king c2. Ah, I missed this move. I only looked at king here. Oh, and someone said that we needed to allow this. What a legend. Now, is it here or here? Oh, la 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 la. That was embarrassing. That was top tier embarrassment. I still don't see the difference between these two. Yeah, it was you, Beastie. Can anyone tell me the difference between these two? King d1 feels better. Fuck. Okay, why is king d1 wrong? Yeah, nice. Check here and goes back. Wow. So king d1 take, and instead of taking the knight, they go knight d3 check. King goes here, knight c4, pawn up, knight goes home. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. I mean, what the hell is this? Just take, check, and pick off the bishop, no? How is this a Sunday puzzle? What? Get out of town. Oh, because I'm back to 2020, so the difficulty level doesn't go up with the day. But that one before, that was absolutely nutty. That was a study, by the way. So we take an e4, yeah? Yeah. Okay. What? What you say? So if I take, and take, then I walk away with the house. Classic take calculations. Take, can't take with the king because that's on. Pawn takes, I remove the defender twice. And then g3 hangs in the end. GG! Alright, let's do one more full week. And then we are going to move on. Black to move. If you take this, there's a check here. But then we have queen d5. Oh, brother. Hello? That is a hell of a way to block a check, my friends. Clip it and ship it, baby. Clip it and ship it right now. Please, can someone clip that? This looks like this. Miss that. But queen f4 wins. No, no one is clipping it. Cool, thank you. Love you all. This looks like check and then put the bishop on c4. And then the pawn can run, yeah? Check. And now comes the key move, putting the bishop on c4. And now the pawn can march in. Neat, yeah? Okay, next. It would be nice if it was bishop g1, or bishop f4. Bishop g1 looks more forcing because rook takes is mate in 1. But after king takes, knight check, king h2, I don't see a follow-up. So let's try bishop takes, rook takes, king here. Awesome, Roy Lopez. Awesome. All right, so one more time. So if I go check, king takes, knight check, king h2, and we ran out of steam. If bishop f4 first, let's say bishop takes, rook takes, king here, rook check, king f2, and we ran out again. Is it bishop f? Oh, la 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 la. That's an all la 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 move. And then rook takes and then check and mate. Ooh. Clip that one too, baby. Woof. Oh, yeah. That was nifty. All right, 3 more to go, ladies. 3 more to go. This feels like check and check. But after check, the king can go to either of the... Oh, no, actually, it can only go to g1. And then I guess I have queen h3. That looks somewhat hot, but it's not Sydney Sweeney hot yet. So let's look for hotter. What if we go queen e2? Is there anything that's hurting us down here? Absolutely no. It's queen e2, ladies. And now I thought rook b2 would do it. Do I have a force mate with check, 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 and then check? Wait, check, check. No, I do not. Never mind. Okay. Yes, I do. What? Victoria Laxwell wants to chat with me. Guess what, Victoria? I have no idea who you are. So, no, that's not happening, honey. Okay, I was not thinking straight. It's rook b1. I'm an idiot. Fuck. What's going on? Victoria distracted me so big time. Dear Vicky. Is it gonna be queen here? Queen here, then check, then king here, then check, then king takes? No. Oh, Z! You will love that. You will absolutely love that shite, man. That is where the real high tea business is. I almost tried every single legal move by now, by the way. Oh, it's bishop g4. F. Ah, yeah. And now we go in, I guess. But now I'm reluctant to believe in anything. Okay, that was F. That was big F. Holy shit, what is this? What a position. Okay, so I'm guessing we will start with a check. King here, check. And then we will throw in some knights. Rook b8 is our main line there, Z. Rook b8. As in castles, knight c2, rook b8. So the only way to stop the mate down here is h3 check. King here allows check here. Then king g2 allows check here. Oh, I had 95. Oh, shit, I had 95 and the rook checked it. Yeah. I'm a cretin again. Again, an absolute cretin. But now we need to be smart. So the rook d4 idea would be nice to use with the check, but then knight takes. So if we go knight, knight, pawn h4, knight. Oh, guys, you won't believe this stuff. Are you ready? This is, please, someone for the love of God, clip this. This is absolutely bonkers. Check this out. Check, knight takes, rook check. Can't go to the files because of queen. Can't go to g6 because knight wins the rook. So after knight check, rook g4, you have to take. Pawn takes. And now I can't take because it's check. I have to go back to g5. Then h4 check. King up and then knight wins. Oh my. Wow. And h4 check. The king has got 7 squares to go to and all lose. Hello? That is clap worthy. That was scandalously good. Man. What a banger. What an absolute banger that was. Wowzers. That was one of the best I've seen in a long time. I'm gonna call it a day here as far as puzzles concerned, because, or studies in this case rather, because yeah, it doesn't get better than that. Oh, and that was a Saturday puzzle, by the way. Okay, I will finish the full week. One more. Made in one. As in check, 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 takes and mate. So made in 5, but same story. Very famous motif, you need to know this. Roy Lopez, I'm doing the daily puzzles, buddy, so it has nothing to do with my puzzle rating or your puzzle rating. What, am I streaming on YouTube right now? Well, I didn't realize I was live on YouTube. Didn't intend to. Yeah, apparently we are. Shout out to the YouTube viewers then. Thank you, Z, for the clip. That's right. Shout out to Al. Okay, cool. No harm done. All right, Cody sent in a 5-sub dono. So if Code has got something to critically analyze, I would be happy to have a look-see. Ah, Mr. Nova in the house. Oh boy, do you need to go back. We have had some absolute bangers, Mr. Nova. We have had some absolute bangers. It's actually clipped, Mr. Nova, so if you look at the Twitch chat, you can rewatch it there, at least. Back in the saddle again. That is where we belong, ladies and gentlemen. In the saddle. Alright, let me see what my good friend is up to. Also quickly adjusting the scene. Alright, we've seen this more or less. Okay, let's have a look at this, brother. Yes, Head Dog. Every time you see anything on the screen that is brilliant, it's my game. Every time it's bad, it's someone else's. Yeah. Okay, Cody, this is a recurring theme now, brother. You spent an eternity for a blitz game, by the way, on where to move this queen. Can someone help me out with a rational as well as with a square as to where this queen should go in this position? It's okay. Now I'm taking charge, buddy. Okay, so I said square and rational. Why are we going to... Oh, Superman with the 5 dono. Thank you. Why are we going to G3 here? Because Cody, my good friend, did not go to G3. Courtney, love, you are correct. No. That is definitely correct right there, the no. Cody, Queen C4, my friend, is illegal. Forget about it. You played Queen E3. You got attacked. What is the only acceptable move here? Actually, knight e5 is an interesting idea, but bishop e3, knight f6, bishop e3 is a better endgame. But yeah, I must have been missing something here. Oh, we are hanging e4. Hello. Not playable. As in knight e5, take, and e4 hangs in the end, just to be clear. Yep, so no, it doesn't. It looks actually bad. Right, so Queen g3 is completely only move here, no? Which makes tremendous amount of sense because it hits this, and it prepares bishop g5. This is the agenda, Jazz. You are right in it. So why ever would you play queen e2 bzz, 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 if we had queen g3? I don't get this. Like, once again, just this feels so wrong on so many levels. Yeah, the answer is always because of chess is hard, but we can't really use that forever, can we? Yeah, but queen g3 facilitates that even better, right? By the way, there is a tactic that we need to be aware of, which is that after queen g3, we are not threatening bishop g5 on account of bishop takes f2 check. And our queen is overloaded. But that aside, yeah, so these are the things that I just can't wrap my head around, Cody, how you can come up with. What pawn storm, bro? What pawn storm? You have got this one minor piece out, and you are thinking about a pawn storm. That's the literal equivalent of my daughter coming home from school, telling me that she got an A for maths, and then tells me that consequently she is going to be the richest engineer in the world, and so let's buy a mansion in the most expensive house in the most expensive suburb tomorrow. It's like, brother, we have got 47 bridges to cross before you even get to say the word pawn storm. Your opponent hasn't even committed to castling. Like, what pawn storm? You need to develop decent castle and then think about what to do next. Yes, that's what you did there. I like that a lot, actually. The shoving a cube into a circle hole. That's what that is. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Bishop e3, good. Bishop d2. Necessary. Good. Could this be queen c4? Bishop takes, queen g5 check, bishop d2. Cody, could this be queen c4? Because I like queen c4 as shed load more than f3. Oh, I'm apparently very loud. Okay, my wife is working from home. I would love to move this queen out of the way of the bishop instead of playing another lemon that has no positive, like no added value. I mean, I might have to play f3 later anyway, but I would love to force this. Yeah, Head Dog points out here a cute tactic with bishop a3. Castles and then takes. An initiative inviting move? I don't know what that means. Like, whose initiative are we talking? By the way, I'm not sure what we should do here. Thank you, Head Dog, for bringing this up. Maybe we have queen b5. Yes, I mean, that's the plan, of course, is that I don't want to just be sitting here passively forever playing defensive moves like this, but I want to dictate the tempo of the game. Yes, that's a good way to put it, Beastie. Okay, I dig that. Yep. Yep. I don't know if I like this. The way I see it is we have a problem, and that problem is this bishop. And this does not help us to solve the problem of our bishop. Queen b5 is a move if you are inclined to play an endgame with bishop pair. I think that's a reasonable idea. Yeah, d5 is likely going to hit us, which is also why I like queen b5, because it puts on some pressure that way. But okay, let's kick the queen in the face and let's go now. I don't like g3 because once again after d5 it just softens up f3. I will let h4 slide as long as we follow it up with something decent. Okay, so, okay, you know what? I take it back. I'm happy. I'm happy. We stepped out of the way. Bishop good to go. Now here there is a positional concept that should come to us relatively easily, which I'll tell you what it is, and then you will tell me what it does. So what's the point of h5 here, folks? It is a pawn storm. Wrong answers only. Wrong answers only. So the idea is that we want to play h6 and undermine the entire chain. Consequently, they are forced to play h6 here. And now this whole chain is rigid. None of the pawns can move for the rest of the game. So we eked out an asset for a potential endgame scenario here. And now actually rook h4, rook g4 per Mr. Nova guy is an idea to tickle the pawn. And Jazz, if you tell me here that h5 never crossed your mind, you need to do a self-reflection, because having played h4 means that you are almost obligated to consider pushing it further up, given it's already there. Why can't the pawns move? What do you mean? Because it's illegal. And when that moves, that hangs. And when that moves, that hangs. That's the beauty of rigid pawns, that they are cooked. This bishop is a beast. You can't move any of them without hanging other stuff. Okay, so we played queen d2. It's acceptable. Yeah, that was a douchebag move by me, but a funny one, right? No, obviously the h6 one can't move, and the other two can only move at the cost of hanging his body behind or in front. Okay, moving on. Okay, these are the moves that I just don't understand. Like, this is one movitis per Dania Naroditsky 101. I don't know what to do. Let's kick the queen. And again, h5 is best to provoke, once again, the rigid structure. Mr. Nova, are we clear that why these can't move? I hope we are. Yep, all good. Okay, so yeah, bishop b4 is a textbook move for I didn't know what to do. And it's not an easy position, by the way. Sorry, he bishop b4, that is. Because the bishop doesn't have any obvious squares. And so we need to find some meaningful moves. And unfortunately, beside h5, I don't have a lot to offer here. Yeah, so the problem with this is that you shield the d file, making d5 a very annoying possibility for black ultimately. G3? I would have considered here f4 because this knight wanted to come in here and then push it in the face. Rather kick it in the face after with h5. Okay, chat, what do we do here? What is the only legal move that we look at here? Unfortunately, our friend has no time, but instincts let him down here. Yeah, it is blitz. Yeah, bishop takes c4 is the only move you should not be looking at. Why are you going to d3 when you can go to d4? I don't get that. Like both of you said queen d3 instead of d4. That's weird, right? Why wouldn't you go to d4? Controlling a lot more squares than from d3. Like take is unacceptable given that we have bishop pair and given that this knight has no threats other than the queen, so kick, right? Every day of the week. Like this should not be your candidate move here. Because now, ironically, f4 turns out to be very bad because e4 is weak. Correct, Tikari. Yeah, queen d3 is also very bad on account, or looks bad on account of bishop a6, and now black has knight threats. Yeah, like f4 here is really, really bad if the consequences is that e4 becomes a target. And then we just blundered away the game, but that was blitz. So, and now we're down to 10 seconds, so forget about that. Okay, this was another mysterious one. Yeah, like, this was inexplicable, Cody. I don't know what happened here, buddy, but your opponent plays d4. If in this position the tactical alarm bells don't go off in your head so loudly that your head explodes, then you're not playing this game, my friend. Like, d4 unguards the bishop that you are indirectly already looking at. So, by definition, every single knight move is a potential game-winning move here for us. So in about 5 seconds, you should have found knight takes e3 followed by bishop takes c4, immediately winning the game. Immediately. And even knight takes c3 wins a pawn here. Like, these are the tactical misses that I don't understand how we can, you know, like retaking fg6 like you did in that London, we fixed that. But this is like, hello, man. We just forgot the 2 + 2 makes 4 basics. Like, really seriously bad tactical miss. And you spent, by the way, a minute and a half from the remaining 346 on this position. And here too, something extremely weird happened. So we took this, and then instead of taking this, you played knight c2. Why? Yeah, I brought up the wrong example. 1 + 1 is 2. Apologies to the Tar fans. I don't get why we are going knight c2 to take a rook when you can take a rook in one go. You go like, let's do that in 3 instead. What? How is that a thing? So strange. Okay, so somehow we lost this. Oh, time. Okay. Yeah, but I don't get this, Cody. Like, why? Like, you're taking the same value and you are dedicating 3 moves to it instead of 1. It makes no sense. Plus, after take, you have queen d6 coming with tempo hitting, depending what they take back with, a lot of stuff. Like, now I might even take this. It's just, like, so fluid. Like, after this, white has 1 legal move. After this, they have 47. And you didn't even take here. Like, it just doesn't add up at all. You're complicating this for no reason at all. And it's really tragic that you lost this on time, by the way, but that's just the nature of Blitz. But the big tactic that you missed there was the 93. That was crazy. Yeah, so we have discussed this already. Thank you, Renga, for the quick answer. Bishop e4 is a move you want to remember, and also leaving the bishop on f5 to bolster the structure is a move to remember. And yeah, I would like to abandon analyzing this game at this point. That is not a chess move. I also don't understand what motivated you to go here. No, I don't need 486. You can just let that go on f5 and then the pawn will stop e4 breaks. Cody, I hate to tell you this, but no one, my friend. But it's a good question. I'm wondering if anyone will own up. Type your rating in the chat if you would honestly take this with the F. I'm very curious too. There's zero chance, Jazz, that you would consider this. Absolutely none. I understand the motivations too, but that wasn't the question. Depends on the position is not acceptable answer. It's this position that we are discussing. Yeah, if f takes g6 is a forced mate, I would take with f2. But it's not a forced mate, so... It's not immediately weak. It's a long-term weakness. Like, there's zero benefits taking this way. Yeah, let's yeah, this fell apart. Let's forget about this. Yeah, but Cody, what is the outcome that you're looking for, brother? Do you want to hear that FTX G6 objectively is bad? Or do you want to feel good about yourself because others would make the same mistake? Right? Like, if 10 more people chime in and say, yeah, I would take with F as well, does that make it a better move? No. Does that make you a better player? No. Does it help you to grow as a player? No. I mean, it's an interesting experiment. I totally get that, and I was curious too. But in the end of the day, it is just a bad move. Now, this crowd deserves to see. So thanks for sending it, Cody. That is your reward. Okay. Can you please, Cody, for the love of God, tell me why we are not playing knight f3 like a chess player in exactly 2 seconds? What the fridge is bishop f4, man? What happened with knights before bishops here? These are the players and the moves, sorry, and I'm not joking you, that absolutely sends me like mad as a chess coach when I see stuff like this. No, absolutely no chance. If you are not playing knight f3 here, you are ruled out. Like, no. Yeah, I know. That was the reward, and then I'm having a royal go at the poor guy. But, like, I don't understand why people feel the need to reinvent the wheel. Bloody Magnus Carlsen could not play a better move here than knight f3. Why are we even trying? Theory. Fuck. Bro, what theory? I can't. Yeah, because my wife is working from home and she has a meeting. What theory? CD is dog poo. A6 is unheard of. What theory? Your theory is to play principled moves. This is not one. Theory. I don't know what theory you are referring to. There is no theory, man. There is just chess. They are playing dog poo. Oh my. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, this was the reward. And by the way, we're not better here at all. Shout out to bishop f4. As a matter of fact, we're worse here. But this is your reward. So let's see how Cody turns around this absolute cluster disaster with bishop f4. Oops. Me pressing the wrong button. None of this is theory, Mr. Roy Lopez, because a6 is a dog poo move. So for the last time, for the love of God, this is not theory. This is your opponent going like, I have no idea what I'm doing. That's what that is. Okay, so back to the game. Yep. Yep. Now this is beginning to look sexy. We could almost pretend that it was some kind of Mora. Okay, chat, what is the only move here that we consider with white? I really wanted to reward Cody and now I'm having a go at him. Actually, 2 moves. One of them is a genius, and for that reason, I will back off from this. Yeah, a bit Malaga, the Portsmouth, you're right too. Tikari correct and Z-Slayer correct. So the only 2 moves you look at in this particular order, by the way, is bishop f7 and e6. If you're doing anything else, you're not playing the game correctly again, and you're not part of your own game. But yes, bishop check check wins the bishop. If that didn't work, e6 every day of the week. Cody went bishop f7. Booyah, baby. That's high T chess right there for you, lads. Yeah. Okay, what is Cody's double exclaim move here, ladies and gentlemen? This is how you make me proud. Now I'm going to sing his praises like mad because he deserves it. What is your first candidate move based on looks and your chess understanding? Bingo. If your instinct here is not castling, your chess instincts are wrong. The fact that it leaves the bishop on d2 hanging makes it an even stronger desire to castle. That should give you an extra boost to look into it deeper, because if it works, it's really cool. And indeed, good luck stopping the hanging queen and the mate on d7. That's chess for you when it's done properly. Shout out to the Backrank Fest, the Uncastled King, and the Undeveloped Army. '96 also wins, but I prefer this. Shout out to Cody here too for not panicking and just keeping the queen on the diagonal while also keeping the knight protected so queen g5 can't come. Absolutely bloody marvelous. If I could give him a cuddle, I would. This is what good chess looks like. If only I could forget the fact that it started like this. But boy, was this a banger. Was this a banger? Cody, the crowd is upset that you didn't post this on Discord. And now Cody does not respond to anyone when his praises are the highest. 95, Derek, is a good call. Mate in 3, let's go. My bad. Yeah, say thank you, iRock. Yes, rook c8 is a beautiful mate here. GG. GG. What was that? Oh, Brazy with the 50. Nah, don't know. That is gonna be a game anal. Has he sent it yet? No. Brazy, send me the goods, brother. Oh wow, this is the new default homepage of ChessCom. Weird. Oh, I'm on the main page of ChessCom too. Ha! Look at me grow. Sure, we are friends now. Brazy, are you sending me goods? Oh yeah, still fiddling with the score sheet. Ay ay ay. Okay, I will show you a game, guys, in the interim. And this time around, if Mr. Tikar is in the house, he will be our assistant coach. He's going to tell us all the theory. He's going to tell us all the theory of this line. All right, Mr. Tikari, what are we playing here with white? This is part of your opening repertoire, sir. Okay, the people who are typing e4, you need to tell me why e4 is a blunder here. And by the way, that is the move that we would like to play, but we can't. So why is e4 a blunder here? Tikari, that was a great way to make me cry. So e4 is kindergarten loss of a pawn, yeah? That was a slip. However, instinctively, you are correct. This is what we want to do. Therefore, we first play e3. Tikari knew this. Then we are going to play bishop d3, which is the best square for the bishop anyway. And then we can go e4 next. Take, bishop e7, bishop d3, castles, castles, and e4. This is what a proper opening looks like. This is move for move in my d4 course too, by the way. FYI, my opponent here is 2700 blitz. And this is still theory, Mr. Tikari. What is our theory here, sir? What is this one? It's called the Queen's Indian Defense. Yes, Tamanajami. Well spoken. How do we defend the pawn here? E5 is horrid. Don't play that because that kills his bishop. Rook e1 is one natural way to do it. What's the other one? Yeah, so if you want to play e5, then you sack the pawn first and then e5, but this is way too soon. So we play queen e2 because we're chess players and we develop. Queen c2 is really bad because it walks into rook c8 with the tempo. Queen e2, no brainer. Rook c8. What now? Sub 1800 cup players here would almost invariably play rook a c1 and go like, I need to grab the open foil. And that is a really, really unnecessary and bad. Well, it's not bad, but it's really not good. Because all it does is that it offers trades on an irrelevant file. Why the F rook courts? Why F? That comes from the same false concept that you want to keep the other rook for the open file. And again, open files are important. But we have got no business to conduct on this file that way, and they have got no business to conduct on this file either. So the correct rook placement is obviously rook here, and then the other rook will either go to e1 or stay on f1, as you will see in a moment. But rook c1 is a complete false idea and illusion, because based on the pawn formation, we are going to be playing center and king side, which is where our pieces are pointing. So this rook arrangement makes zero sense in light of which way the pieces are pointing. So rook a d1 every day of the week. I will make a YouTube video about this, by the way, because people constantly abuse the placement of rooks. Because rook a e1 Cody would suggest that you don't want to do anything on the d file, which is wrong. This is absolutely a top file for us. Well, Courtney, this already was a very important part of that lesson for you right there. So, rook d1 is best. I played knight e5 first. This is not as good. I should have played rook d1. I failed my own theory here because I bungled up the move order. So it's rook d1, queen c7, and then knight e5 is my course. And now f4. Now this explains why we kept the rook on f1. And by the way, this is very unusual in this particular Queen's Indian defense line. So if they put the knight on c6, then you virtually never do this. Then the setup is still queen e to rook d1, and you look to break with d5. If the knight comes around to d7, which was, by the way, Kramnik's idea, he played it against Kasparov, and bring the knight to f6, then it becomes better to go for this knight e5 f4 idea. Courtney, decently rarely. I did it because it was a blitz game. But there's no way I would have messed it up in long-time control game. Like, zero chance. So 95 f4, and the rest of the game was just absolute carnage. Rook d8, which is also a terrible idea, by the way, because I just telegraphed my intention of f5 opening the f file, and the rook just abandoned f7. f5, take, take. And I hate to do this to you guys, and my students in particular, but look at what I'm doing here on like 2750 level. The freaking basics. Every single piece is developed. And they are really, really coherently placed too. Like there is a d5 threat, the bishop covers e5, the rooks are hitting the f file and f7. The bishop is pointing down that way, which is going to be relevant soon too. Yeah, I mean, black is dead lost already. Rook fd8 was really bad. Queen d6 was pretty mediocre, and then rook fd8 was really, really bad. Ironically, black has finished development too, by the way, but unfortunately for them, they do not have center, and the pieces are just, you know, yeah, they're not doing anything meaningful. In an optimal world for black, this should be the moment to sack an exchange on d4 somehow. Like if the queen rook were in reverse order, then rook d4 would be very annoying. But as it's like it's already, yeah, game over pretty much in a higher sense, because there is nothing they can do against rook here and knight f7. No, g6 is really bad too. I mean, yeah, look, knight d7 is best funnily enough to offer a draw. And to get out of that, I would need to play knight c4 here. This is known to theory. Queen d6 was really bad. Oh god, sorry. So yeah, queen d6 was suboptimal, and now after f4, g6 is actually somewhat decent. But you really are reluctant to open this up. And the thing is that I'm not forced to rush it because the black setup is such. I have all the time in the world to set up my attack and go. I can just go king h1, rook d1, rook f3, whatever. But it would have been certainly better than rook d8. So this is how it ended. Queen e6, rook across, b5. I mean, black has nothing to do. And d5. And that's the final nail in the coffin. It kicks the queen, opens up the bishop diagonal, and forces black to just have nobody on the king side. You can play g6, but I just pull back and then f6 has been weakened. It just makes things worse, not better. It's over. Like, you can resign this already with black. They played this, and every move wins c4 white. I took f7, but the very blend knight g4 also wins. I would never play this though because of queen g6, and although I do know that this is just a completely forced win because everything is hanging, I would still not play like this. I like knight f7 as per played. Oh, Li Fong, the sexy man from Canada. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, and welcome in, Raiders. We are analyzing some games as usual. So thank you, welcome in, and please, guys, don't forget to check out Li Fong. He is a legend. Oh, Jason Pierre Bloody Sweeney. Now that is a guy I remember. Holy Moses! Welcome, you legend. Another Canadian legend, in fact. I'm the only person in the Twitch universe who calls you sexy. That's concerning, my friend. What about all the ladies who are watching you? Maybe they just don't have. I wanted to say
catching your stream, sir.
I wanted to say they don't have the balls to call you sexy, but then I realized that if the ladies don't have the balls, that's a very bad figure of speech, so I'm not going there. But they too shy, man. They're too shy. They think that they are not, approachable. Too hot to handle. None. Courtney, sweetheart, can I ask you please to send a follow to Li Fong? I have got more ladies here than you can count, brother. I'm happy to send some to your way. And as you can see, Courtney already knows what quality looks like, so she's here with us, and since you are a looker too, she will follow you. 300 unread text messages. Alright, so we just bonged f7. We played e5, and yeah, I mean, we are +6 territory. The best part about this, cheers, Lafong, appreciate the sub, buddy, or rather the raid. I will send all the ladies to you, brother, so you get some too. Have a good one. What I really want you to take away from this, without wanting to blow my own trumpet too much, is that I spent about, I don't know, 1 joule of mental energy in this game. Like, everything I did was just patterns and stuff that I knew. And that, again, is the power of knowing full games. Although here, admittedly, I was relying some of my own games, because I have had this multiple times, this double up take e5 idea. So the first time I needed to think in this game, ironically, was here. And calculating a mate in 2, I'm pretty good with, for most cases. Granted, it's not even made in two, but I'm still pretty good at it. So this was the first move in the game when I paused to think. ChessBase is your best friend and the mega database for finding model games. But both platforms allow you to just play out a certain position and then look into the master database. And you just look at wins for your color. That's it. That is it. So I just pressed, for the record, I will show you this. So I just pressed explore, like I set this position up, press explore, and here are all the games and notable games as well. You can find them on this site like this. On Lichess, you can do the exact same. And what you're looking for is a victory for the color you are playing it for. And optimally, you are not looking to find a game where both players are super good, because then it's unlikely that the main teams will be demonstrated. You are looking at a game, rather you are looking for a game where the side you are playing it is a very strong player against a noticeably weaker player. So they demonstrate the ideas in a very clear fashion. Clear? Clear as mud. Okay, back to Brazy. Lichess. What does it mean when you beat someone and the first time you have to think is when you made them? It means that you know your openings really well. You understand the middle games arising from your openings really well as well. And quite likely it means that you have played that particular opening and that structure and that move order a fair number of times. It's extremely unlikely to happen to you unless you have played tens of thousands of games. And I don't mean it in a condescending way, it's just what it is. You know, it's the best analogy for this that I can offer to you, and Rengao will be able to relate, is that picture yourself when you're a high school student and your teacher writes up a complicated equation on the whiteboard. And you look at it and you go like, huh? And in his head, he already has the solution as he writes up the equation and all the necessary steps that will lead to that solution. So he hasn't finished, or she, the maths teacher, writing the equation down on the board. By the time the chalk finishes the final, few words and letters in that equation, the teacher already knows the answer and the steps to that. That's a kind of similar vibe to what I meant when I said that the first time I needed to think was before the mate. And Rengao, Mr. Calculator, is coming in strong. Right, so Mr. Brazy. Okay, so Mr. Braze, in this position, and I really hope that Mr. Cody is with us here, because he loves these things when I'm proven wrong. But this is just an exception. I'm not proven wrong. It is actually slightly more accurate to play bishop d3 than knight c3. And the reason is exactly what happened in your game. And I explained this on this stream about 47 times. And that is that if you start with bishop d3, then in this position you can play knight d2, and then bishop b4 becomes an irrelevant move. So to be very precise. You play bishop d3, e6, knight f3, knight f6, and now instead of going to c3, you go d2. And what it also does is that when we transition into a French structure, you get to play c3 to create this chain, which you cannot do with the knight on d2. It makes no difference, Jazz, because if you play queen e2 after d5, the same story will occur. You are going to go to d2. In fact, I don't understand why you would prefer queen e2 here at all. I mean, it's going to be either or. Like, you will play the exact same moves, right? Literal no difference. Like, after knight d2, d5, e5, if here, then queen e2. So if you start with queen e2, then after d5, e5, you're forced to play knight d2 again. Same story. I don't know how to handle this opening against a master. I don't want to pick apart everything you guys say, but that sentence doesn't make sense in the sense that I don't know how to handle this opening, period. You either know or you don't. Who you are playing against, as far as your understanding of the opening is concerned, is irrelevant. You either understand what you're doing or you don't. How do you get your bishop out? It's a valid question on one hand and a little bit invalid on another, so I will answer it. You don't, for now. And the reason for that is because I'm A, not in a hurry to move this bishop anywhere, 2, it doesn't have a good enough square, but I will show you. So after here, we typically play c3, let's say c5, I move the knight away, and then I move the knight away again. And I still don't want to decide where it goes, because I still don't know what the best square is. And it also depends on what black does, so I'm still avoiding the answer, but now it's good to go, and you will play a move when it's needed. Like in so many openings, c1 bishop is the last one to come to the fore because it depends. Like after bishop e7, I still wouldn't touch it. I would play h4. Because now if they castle, we have got a game-winning great gift. And now, having played h4, I actually put bishop g5 on the map, which would trade good bishop for bad bishop. So now we are benefiting from the fact that we didn't rush the bishop move to an absolutely useless square like that. And instead, in one go, we can go here. Yeah, in many openings, in fact, the c1 bishop and c8 for black is developed last. There is no worries about that. Okay, let's have a look at the game. Good question. So in contrast, Mr. Nova, you can see that here the bishop is developed very early, and it's really not good at all, because now we get kicked, and if you go back, we lose the pawn. So consequently, we have to give it up, which is not something that we want to do. As a result of that, this is not a good move. I do remember that, I think it was, what's that Indian GM kid that made it almost the youngest GM? Before Abhimanyu, who was the Indian talent? It was like 10 years ago. Before Mishra. No, Erigas is later than that. Anyway, he wrote a course. Nah, Prague wasn't even alive at the time when I'm talking about. I said at least 10 years ago. Prague wasn't born 10 years ago. Anyway, he wrote a course on e4, and the idea in that course was that I think you can sack c3 here, or in a similar context. Something like this, and it's very, very sharp and dangerous. Farhat, I need to look it up now because it kills me. I need to read through the list of 90 Indian grandmasters just to figure out who the heck this guy was. Don't know if I will find him. Maybe I won't. I haven't seen his name, by the way, for a long while, so he might have quit. Or maybe he changed federations. Something rings a bell. He's actually USA. Give me a sec. Now I can't believe this, but I cannot let this go now, as you can clearly see. Nah, I don't have it. Sorry. Anyway, let's move on. Negi! It was Negi. It was Negi. Whoever said that, you are my hero. It was Negi. Parimarian Negi. Thank you. Absolute hero. Thank you. It was Negi. Okay, we've got this covered now. And indeed, I haven't heard of that guy for ages. Has he quit or something? Yeah, it was Negi. Anyway, so let's see how the game went. So we played bishop g5. That's a big no-go. Take on c3 was weird as hell. What? Why would they take that? Sushi, welcome in. We're talking about you. Sushi is Sasha, guys, for those of you who want to know. Yeah, I thought he quit too, yeah. Sasha, people were going on about your cool game with knight h7. Okay, castles, yep. d6, yep. a4, I like that, yep. a5, yep. Oof. Yeah, that I'm not a fan of if... Unless we can somehow get it in to c5, but we are now putting a lot of pawns on white. Knight c6 is my main concern here. c3, e5. So if this structure occurs, then we are hating life. Absolutely hating life. And for that reason, I already dislike c4. Yeah, but see, so the thing is that what you need to reflect on, Brazy, is that you know that the worst thing that can happen to you in this kind of setup is if we go from here to this, which is when every single pawn you own is on white, like your bishop. Courtney would tell you a few interesting things about this. So you're already reluctant to make this move. And instead, I would be thinking about keeping it flexible and just play a few more developing moves and ensure that you're not committing to any crazy pawn structure changes at all. That was me pressing the wrong button. So I strongly dislike c4. Sorry, Rengao, I missed the answer in the chat because I wasn't looking, because I'm an idiot. Yeah, so this is another thing, Brazy, that I want you to observe. So here you played c4, which doesn't really have a particular purpose. Then you played rook e1, which clearly has the purpose of playing e5, which I do not mind as an idea, but that's what you should have pursued here with queen e to rook e1. And now the only move that you shouldn't even look at is to push. That is not happening. Illegal. You play c3 here. I don't know if you did or not. Cliffhanger point. You play c3 and you do your best to somehow sell c5. That's your pawn break there. And at this point, if the move at the game that you're not thinking of is not Talhecht, shout out to Cody and everyone else to whom I tell you need to know games, Talhecht. Featured c5 followed by an insane queen sack. It would be a very instructive moment for me to go into that now, but I don't have the time, unfortunately. I'm telling you, courts, what we're doing with the C pawns, rolling them up. So for those of you who are interested in learning chess and getting good at it, have a look at Talhecht. I wonder how many people will actually do that. That's your homework for all of you. So here your only candidate move is c5. And by the way, it works like charm. Because after takes, now you get to engage this way. And even d5 is actually now good because your bishop can become a very nasty customer. Good job, courts. But what I meant was to play through, analyze, evaluate, ask questions, etc. So this is tantamount to resignation. I don't understand why you would even consider this move. So what did you hope to get out of this, Brazy, apart from ruining your bishop for life and giving your opponent the best knight in the history of the game? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts here. Yeah, 1962, Talhecht, Varna Olympiad. I even know the place where it was played. Everyone has seen that game. Should have. All right, while Brazy is answering, I will need to take a very quick toilet break. Be right back in 30 seconds. I left the door open, and the toilet is right diagonally across in the corridor, so if I leave the door open, you hear all the action. Fun. Alright, so Brazy is still not answering. Oh, he did. Yeah, that was a really, really detrimental decision. This one too, by the way. Why would you want to keep this bishop? I would pay money for this guy to take this. Textbook case of preventing a blunder. Yeah, toilet flush followed by mukbang. By the way, for chat, positional plan here. Reroute the knight. Where do we go? Right, so the correct plan is to try to get the knight in here. We could do it via here as well, but one would be reluctant to create a hook here. So I don't understand why we are not doing knight d2 here for starters, Brazy. Okay, finally. Okay, I don't get this move. Didn't you say that the idea was to get the knight here? The engine likes this move, by the way, but I think it's just signing up for suicide. I think your only realistic chance is to come here. But the bishop c8 move is gonna cancel it out, so this is where we are strategically dead lost. Because the attack is coming, and we have got absolutely nothing to do. Shout out for the d5 move to facilitate this. Well, in a way, I'm reluctant to look at the rest of the game because I can't really offer any objective improvement because everything is bad. The knight is not better than the bishop on c2. They're so different that they shouldn't be put in the same sentence. God tier, piece of rubbish. Okay, that surprised me that they took this way. So now I would be kind of dialed in to drop rook b5 at the right moment. So this is what I would do here, Brazy, if I were you. This is actually, in my opinion, very instructive. And the engines are going to probably yell at me for this, and I can't care less. If you have the idea of not losing this game and want to fight for it, this is my thought process here, and I think I think that this thought process is actually quite instructive here. So we're dead lost, right? That's our starting point. Dead lost. So you want to throw the spanner in the works one way or another. Now rook b5 is the textbook move here that you should naturally be drawn to. However, after take, the pawn is super easy to defend. All right? So what I would do here would be some kind of a sneaky waiting move type of thing, and I really find it difficult to name one. Let's say bishop d3 for argument's sake. I'm waiting for h4 so that when I send this in and I take, they cannot defend the pawn because this is hanging. Now, for the record, we are absolutely hopelessly dead lost here, right? But this is your only way to stir the pot, because now your opponent is required to play strong moves and to not to give in to the temptation of defending this pawn, which many would do, because it looks scary to allow rook a5, rook a7. Right? We are dead lost. I'm not selling you this like a, you should have done this, buddy, because it saves the game. No, I am selling you this as a, you should have done this, buddy, because this is your only creative way to fight back. And we are still losing this game every day of the week if they carry on with the attack and completely ignore us. For added measure, by the way, I would... yeah, so the problem is that if you take now, they can actually just simply trade down, reclaim the A file, and win easy. But as soon as this pops, yeah, now we have a game on our hands. Because now the kingside attack is dead, more or less. Right? And black has lost a bit of momentum. Like right now, they are feeling like, okay, so white can't do anything with the rooks. I'm rolling the pawns down, and I'm just completely killing them. And all of a sudden, there is this weird shift where black doesn't have an obvious move next. Like, yeah, you can kick me. I will come back maybe to h3. I might have a faint chance to turn it into an endgame. Like, even this could be a problem if I manage to build some kind of fortress. But maybe I just come back home. And imbalance, that's the name of the game. Imbalance. That now this rook is outside of action, this is under attack, the b file is closed, and there is one pawn fewer on the king side, which may make the king side attack a bit easier to hold. Are we lost? Yes. Was this your only practical chance? Also yes. You can't bring the rook back because it has to babysit the pawn. That's the point. Okay, let's see what we did. We went rook b2. Yeah. Okay, this is a similar idea, and I approve of it, with coming in. That is only a point, Roy Lopez, if you actually have a meaningful attack on those open files. Okay, so this, I think, loses to bishop c4, right? That's a very unfortunate fact of life here. But we were dead anyway, because if you do it, take and h3, this is still on. Like, these are the types of tactics, and I really hope, guys, that you're watching carefully, that you should see like this. The pattern recognition of queen takes, check, king here, rook takes, pawn takes, queen h2. This is the type of stuff that you absolutely must pick up from your tactics training. So if you are solving regularly checkmate puzzles, right, as part of your training regimen, and you don't spot this tactic, you need to reflect on what you are doing wrong in your tactical training. And I'm very happy for you guys to tell me that this is a complicated tactic. But no, it's not. It's one of the most basic mate patterns you would ever see. And the only added layer to that was a queen deflection. And since queen f2 is screaming to be played, yeah, but that's completely irrelevant, Anton. The point is that bishop c4 wins the game. I'm not saying it's forced mate. Like, they have queen f3, queen e1. There are 5,000 moves here that don't lead to mate. But the tactical motive is there. Okay, back to the game. Same story occurred here. We take, so now it's actually slightly different. The idea here is that after pawn takes, wait, what? Yeah, I think it's just pawn takes, yeah? And now g2 is gonna be, okay, this is a little bit harder, I will give you that. And if king back, then mate. If king f1, then still queen f3 and mate. Beautiful example of 0 defenders versus a naked king. Anywho, so this was quite shameful. Wait, what? The game is over here? Hello? I'm guessing that this is gonna happen. But that's a very odd moment to stop the game. What happened there? Oh, long time and they stopped recording. Yeah, I didn't think that that would be a logical moment in the game to resign. Dead lost position notwithstanding. Yeah, so you just can't defend these. Extreme chess tactics. I had one thought about it, never heard of it. Oh, it's written by Afek. I really like Afek. He's a cool dude. Apparently it's on Chessable too. Oh, it's mostly about his compositions. Right, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, well, I know the vast majority of Afek's works through other sources, so I would say that about 80% of that book I know what's in it. Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to call it today a little bit earlier than usual. So I think we'll stop here. But the good news is that I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I will have more time. So be sure to tune back in. Yeah, and we'll take it from there. So I appreciate the attention and the presence of all of you lovely humans. I've been promising you a arena tournament. I know that many of you were interested in that. Maybe I will organize one or set up one now. Of course you can. Why couldn't you? You don't need to ask. And then maybe we'll do one next week, and then I can analyze some games from there. That could be a plan. Anyway, I will see you folks tomorrow. For now, we are going to raid Mr. Ramirez. Take care, lovely humans. We'll see you tomorrow.